after Aunt Fern, you say Uncle Bill is 7 years later?
Yeah.
So was he even born in Arkansas, or was he born?
Oh, yeah.
So when did you leave Arkansas? How old were you when you left Arkansas?
Well, we came here in 1938.
I guess I had to go back. When were you born? I don't even know.
I was born in 1920. I was 17 years old when we came out.
When you moved, so okay, so 1937.
Getting close to 18.
1937.
We came in April, and I was 18 in August.
And did so Uncle Bill was alive, but
Uncle Russell, they
he
both
was
were.
also born.
Yeah, I used to take care of them while Granny worked out in the fields. I'm 8 years older than Uncle Bill, and 10 years younger than, older, not younger.
10 years older than Uncle
Uncle Russell.
So did you go all the way through high school there, or did you get through school?
I went to high school 1 year, the first year, out of grade school, and then my dad found a job for me, and I was working in Fort Smith until the midterm. I went back at midterm.
What'd you do in Fort Smith?
Taking care of a woman that had four kids.
Oh, babysitting basically, but living in the house, right?
Yeah, just like a family, like I was part of the family.
Huh.
I got my, probably $1 a week. I don't even remember.
But that went to the family, or?
Well, some of it they let me keep, but then most of it went for family. And that she had the 4 little kids, and I had to kind of take care of her for a few days, too.
You're about to get tickled. Sam's trying to tickle you there, buddy. So, how old were you then? When you would have been 15 then, when you went?
No, I was.
When you went to working for that lady?
No, that's 15. Yeah, probably about that.
15.
Yeah.
Just a single lady?
But before that, I had babysat for another family for a while. And then the guy that, the father of the family that I was working for, he went to work nights, and Granny took me home because she wouldn't let me stay there with him while his wife was gone. And then I got the job in Fort Smith for me. And I went back to school at midterm, and when that was over with, I had no more schooling. I don't have a high school education.
Well, I don't think it's held you back any.
Well, you can keep learning all your life if you want to.
That's exactly right.
And anyway, we stayed in the house that I was born in one house, and we lived in that until I was 3 years old. And I only remember one thing about it, and I know where it was. It isn't.
Is that the one that you went with Dad and saw, or you went to the spot though when you went back there with Dad?
What is what?
When you went back with Dad to Arkansas, did you go to the spot where it was?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But the house that we grew up in is still there.
Okay.
But we didn't get to go into it because every time you went to go, they rented it out, and the renters would be gone or something, and the people that own it, they can't just let you go into somebody else's house.
Right.
And so none of our family had been inside our house until your dad and Uncle John and I went back there. And it happened that there was nobody in the house, and they gave us permission to go in and do what we wanted to. So we did, and it was basically the same thing. They made a little difference in it had, let's see, one end had one large room and one small room, and then there was a hall clear across those two, the building there. And then it was the same thing on the other side, one big room and one little room. And the kitchen was in one of the little rooms, and one was called like your living room, and one of the big ones.
And
then we 3 girls slept together in one room in the wintertime, and in the summertime, and lots of times we threw a quilt on the floor and slept out in the hall or someplace where it was cooler. And Uncle Bill and Uncle Russell and Uncle Calvin he slept with the 2 boys a lot of the time. And they slept out in the hall a lot of the time too. And it was a pretty good sized house, and it had a fireplace in both ends of it.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
And a porch clear across the front part of it.
Well, I'm guessing the wood was probably like here. You just had a lot of hedge and oak and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty of wood available.
oak and sweet gum.
Sweet gum.
We got our
Not
gum.
familiar with that.
We got our gum right from the tree. There's no sugar in it or anything, but you can chew it like gum.
I wonder if that's what they still call it, or if it has a different name. We haven't heard of that one around here, so I'll have to look.
Sweet gum trees.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So then, 1 to 3, you lived in one house, and it's no longer there.
Right, and then we moved into the house that we were, grew up in, and evidently we lost it.
Foreclosed or something on it?
Yeah, something, I don't know what. And we had to move eventually. And we moved into a house it was probably about a mile away from where we lived before. And we didn't live there long. And in 1937, Grant wanted to come. I don't know. He was either going to go to Oregon or Washington. I thought it was Oregon. That firm thinks it was Washington.
What was the purpose? For a job or just looking for better?
Looking for work. Yeah, and so.
Is it because the land wasn't holding anymore, or because of the depression? Or?
It was a big
Dust
depression.
Bowl or what?
The big depression. You hear about it a lot of the time.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people were hungry. And like I say, we raised so much of our food that, that helped us. We never were hungry. And my dad worked for a couple of lawyers, and I imagine he's the one that helped him get a job with the, I think it was called WPA, where they hired a lot of men to work, fixing bridges and roads.
And all that, kind of like the CCC?
Yeah. Yeah, well, the CCC came at the same time, and that was for young boys.
Oh, I didn't know that. I always thought that was for everybody.
Well, it is now. But at that time, women weren't working away from home like they do now.
Right.
But